A banded mongoose is feeding beneath a buffalo calf. It moves between the calf's legs, searches through the hair, and picks at tiny objects close to the skin. The calf does not run. It does not kick. It lowers its head and watches the mongoose work. For an animal small enough to disappear beneath one buffalo hoof, this is a dangerous place to search for food. One sudden step could crush it instantly, but the mongoose keeps returning. It checks the calf's chest, belly, legs, and the cracked mud covering its skin. The buffalo calf remains still. So why would a young buffalo allow a mongoose to come this close? Because this tiny visitor may be feeding on the very parasites that have been. Early in the morning, a family of banded mongooses emerges from an underground burrow. The adults appear first and scan the grass before the younger members follow. They spend much of the day searching for insects and other small prey beneath dry soil, leaves, and rocks. Usually breakfast is hidden on the ground, but today a much larger opportunity is walking toward them. A mother African buffalo crosses the plain with her calf beside her. Much of her body is coated in dried mud. Buffalo often wallow in wet soil before the mud hardens in the sun. The layer can cool the skin and offer some protection from biting insects. But it is not perfect armor. Ticks can attach around the ears, neck, shoulders, belly, and legs. Flies gather near sensitive skin. Small insects may hide beneath cracked mud or thick hair. For the buffalo, they are a constant irritation. For a hungry mongoose, they may be food. The calf is already desperate for relief. It shakes its head hard enough to make both ears flap. Then it breaks into a short run, circles around its mother, and stops. But the itching remains. It twists its neck toward one shoulder, trying to bite or lick the irritated skin. The spot is out of reach. A moment later, the calf drops to the ground and rolls through the dust. Its legs kick into the air as it rubs one side of its body against the soil. When it stands, the dried mud covering its skin is cracked and uneven. Still, the discomfort continues. The young buffalo walks toward a rough tree trunk and presses its shoulder against the bark. It rubs its neck and side back and forth. Then it shakes its head again, flicks its ears, and stamps one hoof. These movements are attempts to reach insects or parasites hiding in places the calf cannot easily scratch. Rolling in dust and rubbing against trees may provide temporary relief. But ticks around the ears, neck, belly, and beneath the hair can remain difficult to remove. The calf is uncomfortable, and the mongoose family has noticed. The mongooses do not rush forward. A buffalo may carry food, but getting close to those heavy hooves is still dangerous. One adult leaves the group and approaches slowly. It stops several yards away. The mother turns toward the visitor, but she does not charge. The mongoose takes another step, then another. The calf watches from beside its mother. No warning signal comes from the buffalo. Little by little, the distance disappears. The mongoose moves in short bursts, sniffing the ground and checking the mud near the buffalo's feet. It does not stalk the calf or prepare to attack. The mother remains alert but calm. That response matters. Young animals often follow the reactions of adults. Because the mother shows no alarm, the calf stays in place. The mongoose behaves like a forager, not a predator. It searches, pauses, changes direction, and focuses on tiny objects around the buffalo. The calf is not trusting blindly. It is reading the visitor's movements and following its mother's calm response. The adult mongoose reaches the buffalo's front leg. It sniffs the hair and dried mud, then begins picking at something close to the skin. Another member approaches from the side. A third stays farther away, standing upright and watching the grass. The group appears to be searching for insects, ticks, and other edible material trapped in the hair or mud. The buffalo remains still. If a few parasites are removed, the animal may gain temporary relief. The mongooses receive something immediate, food, but every movement of a buffalo leg matters. A shifting hoof can turn a feeding area into a deadly trap. So the mongooses work quickly, moving in and out rather than staying beneath the animal for long. Then one younger mongoose moves toward the calf. The calf lowers its head and sniffs. The mongoose freezes. For several seconds, they remain almost nose to nose. The calf steps forward. The smaller animal moves back. Still, there is no charge, no kick. No warning from the mother. The mongoose waits, then begins searching again. The calf appears curious rather than frightened. It watches the small animal dart around its legs and investigate the mud along its lower body. The mongoose is focused on prey far smaller than the calf itself. That is why the young buffalo continues to tolerate it. The mongoose moves beneath the calf's chest. This is the moment seen at the beginning, and it is the most dangerous part of the encounter. A sudden jump or careless step could crush it. The mongoose works fast. It checks the hair and picks at tiny objects near the skin. The calf shifts its weight. The mongoose darts backward immediately. It waits. When the calf settles again, it returns. This back and forth shows how carefully the small animal reads every movement. It never assumes the buffalo will remain still. It stays ready to escape. The mother continues to watch. Her calm presence allows the calf to remain curious. Nearby juveniles observe how the adult approaches, where it searches, and when it retreats. They learn through watching. While the others feed, one mongoose remains upright as a lookout. Then its head snaps toward the sky. A large bird of prey circles overhead. The warning call is immediate. The family races back to the burrow, while the buffalo barely react. For the buffalo, the bird is almost harmless. For a young mongoose, it may be deadly. Within seconds, the feeding area is empty. The family waits underground. One adult eventually appears near the entrance. It scans the sky and listens. When the danger has passed, the others follow. Before long, several members return to the buffalo. The opportunity is too valuable to ignore. Buffalo disturb insects as they move through the grass, and their bodies may carry small prey that can be collected without digging. Still, neither species depends entirely on the other. The mongooses can return to soil, leaves, rocks, and termite mounds. The buffalo can wallow in mud or rub against trees. This is not a permanent partnership. It is a brief opportunity created when two different needs overlap. So why does the buffalo calf allow a mongoose to come so close? Because the small animal does not behave like a predator. It approaches carefully, focuses on insects, and retreats whenever the calf moves. Most importantly, the mother remains calm. The calf reads all of these signals. Protected by a powerful adult, it has time to observe instead of panic. The mongoose appears to have come for food. The calf tolerates the visit because it causes no obvious harm and may remove a few irritating parasites. Their interests align for a short time. One receives a meal. The other may receive relief. And the calf learns that not every creature approaching through the grass is an enemy. Sometimes survival depends on strength. Sometimes it depends on speed. And sometimes it depends on standing still while a mongoose searches for breakfast behind your ear. If you enjoyed this unusual encounter, subscribe for more stories from the wild. And tell us in the comments, would you trust a mongoose this close?